So New York City Mayor-elect Zoran Mamdani has been consulting with Democratic governors, including Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker, Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro, and Maryland Governor Wes Moore. Mamdani is said to be seeking advice on taking a stand against Trump's threats of immigration raids and National Guard deployments. So is this the smart thing for him to do? And will it make any difference?
I think it's really smart. I think it's smart to surround yourself with people that have experience dealing with this administration, have experience dealing with this president, and also having that coalition of expertise. He's hired an all-female team.
Yeah.
He's kept the police commissioner here. He's keeping the police commissioner here in New York, who has done, by all accounts, a wonderful job. He's hired 200 lawyers in anticipation of what Trump may do. This is someone that is ready to go from day one, and I'm applauding it. I think it's really impressive. In fact, on Thursday, he announced his plan to make universal childcare a reality in New York City, starting with Brooklyn, and by taxing, he raised taxes about $9 billion a year from corporations. And on top of it, he's going to bring the salaries of childcare workers whose median income right now is $25,000, which is not a living wage here in New York, on par with New York City public schools, up to $100,000. Our children will be taken care of. That is impressive. He's got not concepts of a plan, he has plans.
One of the things that people were very concerned about, many people who didn't vote for him were very concerned, and even some who did vote for him were very concerned about regarding Zoran Mamdani, is his lack of managerial experience.
Yes, that was one of the
So I think it's very smart for him to reach out to three spectacular governors. They are the chief executive officers of their states. Each of them brings something to the table. I think for anybody who's starting a new job where you don't have that much experience, seeking mentorship from people who are doing it well. And I love the fact that two of those governors, Shapiro and J.B. Pritzker, are Jewish folks. Because outside of Israel, this is the city where there is the most Jews in the world. And he's got an issue with that he needs to address. J.B. Pritzker's grandparents fled 1940s Ukraine post-war. And I also hope that he learns, particularly from J.B. Pritzker, who has been dealing with the militarization of the streets of Chicago and the cruel ICE raids, to stand up to a bully. These words from J.B. Pritzker is what I want to hear from Zoran Mamdani.
If you come for my people, you come through me. So come and get me.
You give in to a bully once, that bully will come back.
Well, we've seen that happen with Trump
over and over again.
You're kind of speaking to the point that I know the call was primarily to talk about how to combat or prepare for this administration that Donald Trump is leading. But I do hope he sought a lot of counsel, because he's a young guy, and I think the concern was his only job outside of college is he volunteered for local campaigns, and he'd done some stuff with foreclosures, and then he'd been serving the 36th district of 120,000 people. He's now going to run the largest city in the country with 8 million. So that jump is such a learning curve.
Okay, so my cynical side was literally at your victory speech, you said, basically, come at me, Donald Trump. You were goading him, but then you made the calls for advice on how you were going to take on one of the most powerful administrations in American history after you were elected to office. One of my concerns with her...
Donald Trump did threaten him before.
But I would have wanted him to go... My two biggest issues with him, ideologically, I just don't agree with him, but setting that aside, the thinness of experience, because you know this is going to come to a head. You know that Trump is ready for how he's going to engage, and having someone who has such minimal experience in a managerial role does concern me for how he's going to be able to handle it. But I'll give him this. Also keep in mind, New York City is an economy the size of Canada or South Korea. It is the economic capital of the world. He's never had a job in the business field or in managing a large economy.
That was the point I was making, is that he's done more volunteer public service, but not
and
really
what's going to matter here is this. A lot of Democrats are going to be looking to see, because he ran a very good campaign. I give him tremendous credit for that. They're going to be looking to see what his first year looks like. Is it rife with successes? Is he able to accomplish all these things that he said he was? If so, I think you're going to see a lot of Democrats run more lefty the way that he did. If it's more what I expect, that he runs into a lot of roadblocks, realizes that Albany controls most of New York City. It's not, the mayor actually has a very limited ability to affect major policy changes. I would think that Democrats would be much wiser to look to the moderates who won. Mikey Sherrill, Abigail Spanberger in Virginia, and yes, Josh Shapiro, who is the governor of the swingiest of swing states
And they
in America.
love him there.
The road
They
to the
love
White
him.
House is through purple states, not through the bluest of blue cities.
I actually, though, think that Democrats could learn from him because he energized young voters.
The campaign was brilliant.
The campaign,
The campaign, I think everyone agrees, was brilliant.
They can learn from him.
But
They
kind of what we're
energize
seeing with
young voters.
But you know,
You're right
people
about
want
that,
to
but-
define the Democratic Party by Zoran Mamdani. Can we also talk about the fact that, yes, he ran a brilliant campaign, I agree with that, but also he was running against really flawed opponents. I mean, you
To
know.
your point about, you said something about he's dealing with one of the most powerful administrations. Donald Trump's numbers are getting lower than my boobs, all right?
I mean his ability to use the
They're in the
executive
30s.
His ability to use the executive branch. We've all talked about the fact that he's using
I love
the
that you
power of the
answered
presidency.
seriously to her boob joke.
But it just
And
real
I
quick.
think that having these guys, the Democratic Avengers, to help him, I think that's a
Oh, I
really
love
good
that.
move.
I love that
keep
nickname.
in mind-
Use that, Governor Pritzker.
Keep in mind, what we're seeing with Donald Trump right now is the fact that he ran a successful campaign on affordability, but his first year in office, he's flailing. He's not bringing costs down. Things are not getting more affordable. You could see Mamdani having a very similar approach to this, where he was effective talking about the concerns of
Yeah,
voters,
well,
but
we'll see.
actually bringing down costs is much harder.